So this is the second podcast. It's October 20, 2015, and I'm here with my friend Matt. And we've recently become friends, but when we met, we just right away had a strong connection with each other. We met in a yoga class that I was teaching, and then we just started talking about meditation and the spiritual journey. And I was really moved by Matt's story. I thought it's such an incredible, inspirational story for anyone to hear, especially young men, since there seems to be so little guidance in the modern society with men. So here's Matt's. Please, hi Matt.
Thank you so much.
Great, welcome. So yeah, do you want to start with your story?
I can do that, yeah. My story, or how I came to this path, was begun last December of last year, and I was having my own company. I started that in summertime, so I've been in the process of that for 3 months, and things were going really well. It was a very intense process because, like, with big fast growth, things happen very fast, so you can lose yourself a bit in that.
Yeah.
I also was just getting from an ex-girlfriend, so there would be the breakup process I also had to endure, and all that led me to be so caught up and consumed by the company work that I forgot to see my friends, I forgot to eat, I lost 10 kilograms, and the first thing I would do each morning was to take out my laptop and just do work, basically.
So the moment you woke up in the morning, you take out your laptop and start working?
Start working.
Wow.
Just to work 24 hours a day, and then basically no sleep. And yeah, that was the beginning. It was a very intense process. I started to seeing my financial goal was reached, but I felt so miserable. I was in constant pain, and I couldn't be myself, so I constantly put myself into work. So
you were constantly wearing the veneer, the costume of a businessman.
Yeah.
And the whole persona that goes with that.
The facade, yeah.
The facade.
Yeah.
The facade. The slick businessman facade.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was.
But inside you were sad.
Inside I was very sad, and it all culminated in the last week in December, when I got so depressed I just crashed down. I just started crying, and I suddenly realized I couldn't go to work. I couldn't do work. I couldn't take any responsibilities. I was completely broken down.
So you hit a brick wall.
I hit a brick wall.
Yeah.
I had been so stressed that the amount of stress I had was making me incapable of working. And when I tried to do work, I would just cry. And
wow. So that was 10 months ago?
That was 10 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Okay.
Because you're not like that anymore. What was the transformation?
No.
How did it start? Because you're a very different person now.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
I always had the realization that if everything failed in my life regards to getting external things, then I'll go back to just meditating, and I had always had that in my mind. But this period of time after this condensed crash, I went to one of my friend's place, and I cried. I was completely done. I couldn't be with myself, so I had to sleep over at a friend's place. And he said he had this good therapist that was a bit alternative.
Oh.
But he could see straight through you. He had some insights. He had himself been an alcoholic, done psychedelic mushrooms, all kind of different substances, and he could see it with clarity. So I thought that sounded very interesting. I'm going to do that tomorrow. So
you went the next day?
I went the next day. I paid for 10 therapy sessions. and because I just needed to escape from all this pain, I couldn't be with it. So I went to this guy, and he started working in an entirely different way. And it was much about focus, about completely accepting, going through the emotion and accepting the emotion.
Okay, so stuff where you were talking with them, and he would like just let you be in that and ask you
how does it feel?
How does it feel in your body?
Yeah,
right.
Go back to the body.
Okay.
And he started to work with my stomach, and he said, "You have so much anger that you haven't let out. That's just tied here in your stomach." So he would massage my stomach.
Oh.
We worked lots with the stomach.
So he was a healing therapist, or what?
It's I don't know what's called.
Because he was hands-on.
He was hands-on. Yeah, it was like half of the thing was psychotherapy, and then half of it was
massage therapy. Okay. I didn't know that.
Working with releasing energies.
Right. So he said you had so much anger in your stomach area.
Yeah.
Just stuck there.
So yeah, and I didn't know how to express my anger. So that was a big realization in the beginning. We started working, and I quickly got better. He led me to Osho and to read Osho books. The first book I read was Osho's Courage book.
Oh,
Osho. Osho, yeah.
Okay.
Osho. And that, it really resonated with me so deeply inside. I couldn't completely relate to everything he was saying, but Osho is very much also about expressing emotion, letting it run through you, and all these meditative practices. So I was very inspired by that, and I tried to go with his work frame.
Yeah.
And that led me to sign up for this meditation camp, Vipassana. And
so you found out about the 10-day meditation retreat?
That I actually found out because I listened to a podcast with Joe Rogan and Graham Hancock, I think.
And
because
they
Graham
mentioned...
Hancock, he did Vipassana.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, he told about that, and he said, like, he's getting more and more into the core, and I was very inspired by that.
And so this is when, like January
this January,
year?
Yeah.
This year.
January. So I signed up for the course, and I went to the 10 days meditation camp
in Sweden.
In Sweden, in March. And
what happened?
That was a very, very beautiful experience. The Vipassana thing was one of the toughest thing, maybe the toughest thing I've done.
I've heard that from many people.
Yeah, you literally want to go home every day.
Sure.
I don't want to go home. I felt such pain in my back because I never meditated before.
Of course.
I just went in as a virgin.
11 hours of meditation a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you wake up at 4 o'clock. You have
4 a.m.
4 a.m. Yeah. And you go to bed at 10, and you have your little breakfast, and then you have lunch at 12, and then you don't eat. They take your cell phone from you when you arrive, and you're just left with your own space. You're in exploration.
There's that noble silence.
The code of noble silence.
Yeah, where you're not looking at people, so it's as if you're there by yourself.
Yeah. So who has 10 days in their life when they don't talk to each other?
Yeah.
So that was an amazing journey. It was like living in a prison because we were confined.
It was like what?
Living in a prison.
Living in a prison.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were confined to this little space where we could walk, and there would be this area, this little forest, where we would have a line that was making the borders, or so it was a restricted area.
So you couldn't go past that?
We couldn't go past that.
Okay.
No. So we'd have like this little circle walk we could do in forest.
And the men and women were separated?
We were separated.
Also,
no contact with the opposite sex, no masturbation, no, like it was complete.
Wait, it wasn't called masturbation. He called it Goenka, the guy. He called it sexual misconduct.
Yeah, sexual misconduct.
No sexual misconduct.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. And none of that. But I remember the first day I was doing meditation, and I could not focus. My mind would go crazy. I was still thinking about my ex-girlfriend. I had so much trauma towards her, and I felt so much back pain. It was like a constant battle, just because I really tried to force not thinking.
Sure.
So I was trying with this technique of not breathing, because like not breathing really takes you back to your body.
Not what?
Not breathing.
Not breathing?
Yeah, not breathing.
But you have to breathe.
Yeah, but I tried it as a technique.
You tried to not breathe as a technique?
Yeah, for my own,
okay.
to solve the problem. But in general, Vipassana is all about breathing. But I tried to stop breathing to clear my focus, because when you don't breathe, it's more easy to get back to the body.
Okay.
So that was my process at the beginning, or I tried to use that. But I was soon to realize that a lot of stuff came up, a lot of dark stuff. So each night I would have very intense dreams, very vivid also. And I would see my family die, I would see my friends die. And in these situations where I couldn't help, I could just observe them die in these very intense ways. I just wanted to help them, but I just couldn't. So
did it freak you out? Because you might have thought that those things actually happened.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know because you were in silence.
It was.
You're in a meditation retreat.
I yelled at night. I woke the others up. I think I just yelled and screamed in my dreams. I never tried that. But it was so intense that I just woke up by just roaring and yelling help. And so I was facing different fears. It was in the beginning, it was fears of seeing my family die or my friends die, and then I saw myself die, and like you just see myself die, getting shot by someone, and I couldn't do a thing. And then I had a fear of heights also, but I would go through all these kind of fears.
Sure.
Each day we have 5 minutes access to the meditation teacher.
Oh right, if you wanted to.
If you want to, and that's the only time you can talk.
Right.
And I use that every day.
Every day.
Yeah, that was my prime quality time talking. So I was asking him about all these things with dreams, and I thought it was a bit strange that I went through that process at night. But
what did he say?
He said that was completely natural, and a lot of stuff came up from the subconscious, like getting processed in nighttime, and yeah, people deal with things in different ways.
Right.
So the entire camp was a lot of that. A lot of dark emotion came up, but there was also peaks of light, where I just felt like a rain drop feeling down towards my entire body, of just peace. Peace. Yeah, okay. Just peace. Just peace with everything. And I thought, wow, okay, this is one of the most profound experiences I've had. And of course you start to crave those peaks.
Sure.
So then it becomes, you go back to craving sensations, and then you have to start all over.
Yeah.
But just getting an insight to what's possible from just being silent and being in your own presence. The potentiality for emotional...
the potential?
The potential,
yeah.
Is like you go through some experiences of emotion that's way more profound than you've ever encountered.
Of course, yeah.
And it's like getting showered in love, or whatever how you might describe it.
Right. Well, the word vipassana, it means to see reality as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were seeing your own reality as it is. Yeah. In a deeper way.
In a deeper way. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened? What else happened during the whole retreat?
I think there was a huge change in me, from everything from the way I walked to the way my face looked. Like I was starting to get relaxed in my body for the first time in my life. You were letting go of stuff you were carrying. I was letting go of stuff I was carrying. It was very hard, you'd say, and I really wanted to go home. And at one point we went allowed to run. But I was so angry that I just ran out to the forest and I took this giant stick and then I just beat the ground with it and got it out. And there would be anger expressions like that, and sometimes I would take the chance and go out through when the others meditate, and I would go to the forest and I would do like pull-ups in the tree to get some energy out or anger out. I did things like that.
Sure.
But yeah, the ninth day came. I was like, wow, this is exciting, because tomorrow we can talk together. The 10th day you can talk with people, and you've been with these people, and you have like a deep connection with them without talking, and you want to know everything about, or I wanted to know everything about the people around me. I was so excited, I couldn't sleep the last day.
Wow.
Woke up the next day, and after we had our breakfast, we were allowed to talk, and we were just talking.
Yeah.
And it was so exciting. In the beginning, your voice sounds like you've had a helium balloon.
Yeah. Right.
So it's
it's all scratchy and light. Yeah. Oh wow. So.
And then you go back to normal society, and at the beginning you think like, wow, this world is strange. You see all these sad people and stressed out.
You see it clearly. Yeah. And like you didn't really see it before. It's not even that 1/10 as clearly. No, because you were in that normal mode.
You're just into your own mind all the time. You can't really take in what's around you also. So as soon as you start to take in the whole full experience of what's happening around you, it's very intense, and you feel everything. Like from when you look at someone that's walking by you in the train, you feel the pain, and you feel like, wow, this world is weird. Why don't we all just live in a meditation camp? Because at a meditation camp, life is so simple. You have like 1 tea break a day, and you can have a cup of tea and you can have a fruit, and you enjoy that fruit. You enjoy that cup of tea, and that's one of your favorite times. So all like the simple joys. Right. It becomes very clear that you can live a very happy life.
A very happy, simple life. Yeah.
And then we go back to the to the whole mess of
Right. So you came out like with a cleansing. You came out with like a clear perspective. Would you say?
I came out from the retreat. I got cleansed. There was something that got out of the system, definitely. Okay. And there was a huge change in me. And like I had the problems with my ex-girlfriend. That was completely gone. When I came home, I met this amazing Australian girl, and we just went to a dance together. We started to just do a lot of experience together. We would travel around, and
wait, but you before the girlfriend, I think you mentioned to me that you continued meditating as what was prescribed, suggested. Right?
No, actually, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, I thought you did.
No, okay. I actually didn't. I was changed, but it was because
he recommends 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour at night. Yeah,
I know. I was bad at that.
Okay.
When I came home, I completely indulged in lust and experiences of like this life. With alcohol, with great dinners, amazing restaurants. I felt like now I earned all this money, and now I just wanted to go with the experience and sharing this love with this person and getting all this experiences with her. So we were just really, really indulging in everything external, you can say, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful dance, and I loved that time. But it also made me realize now I got everything I want. I don't have to work. I have the money I need. I can go to a Michelin restaurant each week or each second day. But that doesn't make me happy at the core. I have this amazing girl. I love her. It makes me very happy, but it still like doesn't make me happy at its core. There's still like something within me that's not at peace. And so it was very important to me to go like to the complete extreme of that, really enjoying life.
Yeah.
For
you have to dive in.
You have to dive in deep. And so me and her, we would after four months of that, we got to summertime, and I said, I heard about ayahuasca. I heard it from it originally from Joe Rogan's podcast, and I said I want to do that. And she was like, we were always in the experience field, so we wanted to try different things. She had never been depressed. She thought everything was great with her. And so she found this place, and that does ayahuasca in Berlin. And we read a lot about it. We got really excited. And we were also, of course, afraid of what the potential outcome of it would be. But we decided to go. We booked flights the week after, and we're going to Berlin together. It was 2 days after we had a big night out, just drinking alcohol. Let's just say we didn't do proper preparation for an ayahuasca session. So we almost still had a hangover the first day we come to Berlin, and we were curious about it. We didn't have any deep intentions.
Okay.
But we were going with the flow.
Right.
So we come to this place.
So she was as curious as you were?
Yeah.
Okay.
But she hadn't, I've been depressed many times in my life. I've been going through a lot of therapy, and my family would say I was a mania depressive, would go from peaks to
ups and downs,
downs all the time.
Okay.
And I wasn't mania depressive, but I had good, very high peaks, and but I have lots of downs, and I used therapy of different variations.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And anyways,
natural.
So I always knew that I wanted to find some deeper peace.
Oh.
And that led me to do ayahuasca. I wanted to see what that experience could lead me.
So what happened at the ayahuasca?
So we come to this place in Berlin. This beautiful studio place. There's trees all around it, and we were in the second floor in this building. But there's just windows all around, so you feel like you're in the midst of a forest.
Yeah.
So beautiful place, and then there would be air beds all over at the walls, and there would be a vomit bucket, or they call it a bucket for purging, and there would be around 20-30 people of all different nationalities, people that, there would be entrepreneurs, there would be psychotherapists, there would be DJs, there would be all kind of different people. It's a good mixture of crowd.
Oh.
And so we go there, we sign up the form, and we tell them why we want to do this, and our answer to it was self-exploration, which was also a very honest response. But then we wait until the night, and we're all excited because we know the shaman is gonna come. So we have all this idea of a Colombian shaman. Anyway, it wasn't a Colombian shaman. He was Croatian, and suddenly he comes in and he sits by this table and he mixes these things together, and there's candlelight, there's smoke in the air from different sorts of tree they're burning. It's all very foreign to you in the beginning.
Okay.
Because we'd never been a part of that world.
Sure.
A spiritual community, if you may say so.
Yeah.
And then we got the whole introduction, where he tells you that you're supposed to see ayahuasca as this friend who's going to help you get through what you need, and you just relax in your body and let the friend come and take you on a journey, and that's the baseline of it. So, but in order to really get the process going, we start with this tobacco, and tobacco that the shaman blows up in your nose, and it activates the reptilian part of the brain, and it stimulates the sensation of fear. It literally feels like you're burning up in the back of your brain, and you feel so intense fear that you're completely in your body. You cannot be anything else because you feel like you're going to vomit in a second. So you get very nauseous, and everybody goes through that. Some people start to cry, some people start to laugh. It's different emotional responses to it, but that really brings some intensity. And then we have the shot, the tea, the ayahuasca tea.
Drink the tea?
Yeah, we drink the tea.
Okay.
Each person would go up to the shaman, get the tea, and the shaman would bless your tea, and you drink it. So we drank it. And we go back to our beds and lie down for a while. Didn't feel anything happening. So it's like, okay. Because I heard a lot of people that didn't have any reaction to it. So that was my biggest fear. Like going all the way to Berlin and not getting any reaction. Now I paid all this money and now like did all these things. Now I want to get something out of it. Anyway, nothing happens.
Did you at least get to vomit?
No, nothing happens like in the first hour. So it was so there's in the ayahuasca session you could have a booster, so you can have a second dose.
Okay.
It was included. So I waited for the booster, and then the shaman comes to me and give me this extra potion, and he tells me exactly to focus on it just as a friend, just relaxing my body. So I started relaxing really and like letting go. Whatever is coming is coming. It might not be in any visual experience. I just stopped having expectations towards it.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly it hits. Suddenly I feel this pressure like in the third eye and on the top of my head, like the crown. Is it crown chakra?
Crown chakra, right.
Yeah. And I started like feeling like I'm guided with some hand or some force is guiding me to the music. So I'm dancing to, in the ayahuasca ceremony there's always music. They play different music in order to get you through different suppressed emotions and change the energies in the room. That's a whole science in itself. But anyways, I started dancing to this music and breathing in a very different way that I've never experienced before. And I dance and I do yoga. Suddenly I was guided through all these yoga movements that helped me just relax more in my body.
Have you done yoga before?
I didn't do yoga before.
Okay, so it just came spontaneously.
It just came spontaneously, and it was so profound that like that intelligence to do all the movements correctly was inside of me.
Wow.
And so I was guided through that, and I see visuals. I see it seems like mechanics in different colors, rainbow colors, and maybe some card shapes, playing card shapes. Like really psychedelic experience. And it feels like this loving force is coming to me.
Loving force?
The loving force.
Okay.
But also very alien force is coming to me to heal me.
Oh.
So I suddenly see all these instruments. I'm lying down and I see all these instruments coming into me, like my blood veins and in my muscles, whatever. And like they're just like healing me. And I'm just lying down, being this healing process. It seems like it just sucks out darkness. And from that experience, after the darkness was sucked out, I expressed that through vomiting also. And then I reached a point of love that I've never encountered before and never thought was possible. It was love to it was universal love, and it made me realize I've never experienced love before. This was missing in me. This was the feeling I was craving. I was craving love so much that I tried to find it in all these external things, or at least to feel some sort of meaning. But I was craving love deep inside. I didn't have that love to myself. So when I got that insight, okay, this is the potential. I was like, this is what I have to seek in my life. I have to say love. My first step is to love myself completely. And so that became very apparent. And that was the first ayahuasca night.
How many nights were there?
There were 3 nights.
3?
Yeah.
Okay.
But very important insight the first night.
Yes.
Completely, yeah.
A golden gift.
A golden gift. I'm so happy I had that insight the first night, because the next night would be hell, and I didn't I didn't expect that, but it came. So we go through the same process the next time. The next day, or let me start from the beginning. We wake up and we have therapy sessions, so we'll be divided in groups, and we'll talk about what we experienced. Some people went through trauma. Some people found out they've been abused, or people share the different experiences. There will be traumas in people that they didn't know they knew they have. That comes up.
Yeah.
And we sit in these rooms, and you empathize with everyone in that room, and you start to see very clearly how deeply common or similar we are. We all the same. We can all relate to each other's pain.
Right.
And the emotional spectrum is completely, similar.
And they're all strangers.
And they're all strangers.
Yeah.
So, in this therapy session, you just start accepting, wow, okay, this is not just me. We're all in this pain. We're all going through this suffering. And the empathy that arises was so beautiful. Like when someone would talk and someone would cry, somebody would just come over and kiss them and hug them and shower them in love.
So no facades.
No facades.
Yeah.
Complete authentic expression.
Naturalness.
Nothing would be kept for oneself.
And the girlfriend?
My girlfriend?
Yeah.
She still felt like the first night she wasn't really experiencing any profound things, because she blocked it.
Okay,
so you can block and then not go as deep as you could potentially do.
Okay.
So the next day at the therapy session, we had the shaman, he was doing it. But he would he would instantly spot you if you were protecting something. So he would say, you're not sharing everything. You have, you're hiding something. And she would say, like, am I? And like, if you ask a question, he would say, like, if you ask a question back, that's protecting yourself. And he would spot all these like defense mechanism in her, and she would just burst out in tears after 10 minutes of having that conversation. That was so intense for her. So that really opened her up to like the pain or the vulnerability.
Yes. Yeah.
That session was so important for her. So the next night, she really goes in deep. She goes through all traumas from with her parents and with the family and with relationships in the past, or with the experience of being alone. She had always been afraid of being alone, which is a very common thing.
Sure.
And the mother ayahuasca said, now it's okay for you to be alone for a while. She's just like been jumping from relationship to relationship.
Oh, never being alone.
Never being alone.
So totally afraid of loneliness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so common with people.
Sure, it's a norm.
It's a norm.
In the modern world, yeah.
Yeah, so you get these insights that are so profound to you, and you see things so clear in you that you haven't seen before.
And what happened to you the second night?
The second night, I started having rainbow colors again, seeing some funny hallucinations, and and I was seeing baby bunnies hugging my ex-girlfriend. And we were having like a talk. I would have so much fun in that session at the beginning, but I also said that I have to go out. I have to be myself. I have to go deep, and I don't want you to be
take it personally.
Yeah, I don't want you to take it personally. Also, I don't want you to be distracted from your process, because I knew there was really deep shit in me that I need to face. So I was processing with my ayahuasca, and then I said, okay, I'm going outside. So I went to the forest area, because one of my fears also was being completely alone in the nature, in darkness, when there's just animal sounds. And so I went into the forest alone. There was no people, there's just me and my experience. And suddenly, this demon force takes hold of me. Evil stuff, nasty stuff that comes in. And it's like the sounds I made would be like, it was like hell sounds. And it was so grim.
Wow.
And I had to take a lot of courage to stay in that place and not go back inside with people, just stay in the darkness, because at that time it was probably 11 o'clock, and until light came on, that would be like 8 o'clock in the morning at that time. So I said to myself, I'm gonna stay in this darkness until the light comes. So I was with the demons, the really dark demons in me. For all that time, I'd vomit, I would roll around in these plants that stuck me. I got stuck by bees, things. I was vomiting so much that like all the mud and earth would stick, so I would be completely black skinned from mud. And after vomiting a lot of like the hell things out of me, the demons, I would suddenly go into this lion phase. So I would start imagining myself as a lion, and I would walk around in the forest on 4 legs. And each time I heard a sound, it would be like an animal just being in reaction, ready to kill, right? And I would see all these things back to my parents and back to different traumas. I was always afraid of dogs because when I was little, I had a dog try to like eat my throat. So
a dog tried to bite you.
Yeah, in the throat.
In the throat. Oh, yeah. When you were
didn't happen a black dog, but I was very afraid of dogs after that.
Yeah.
And so I faced the dog, and this time we just in the beginning I would be very afraid, but this time I would do a lion's roar, and the dog would get killed. So that's how I processed the dog. And there would be these things from my personal life with family, with regards to anger towards my parents. My dad was very soft, and he didn't, like, from a lion's perspective, he didn't give me like the punish or like the hard tough love I needed to become an individual. So I had a lot of anger towards him for being soft.
For being soft?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the lion in me wanted to be strong, and he wanted a strong male character.
A strong male role model.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Didn't have that when I was little, so I was like supposed to find out what a male was for myself.
Right. Yeah.
My mom was the opposite. Like she's a planner. She's completely dominant and different. But also I was angry with my mother because she didn't let me be my individualistic self. Like she would dominate everything. So it was.
She was controlling you too much.
Controlling.
Okay.
Too much. So I realized, okay, the lion just wants to go on his own path, and the lion wants to be alone and independent, and the lion doesn't like weakness. Okay, so there's this part of me that's the lion, yeah, which was quite insightful, because it was an interesting way of learning to get to know yourself with this animal perspective. So when
wow, so it's like your power animal.
Yeah.
You know, with American Indians, they have a power animal.
It's a power animal.
Okay, so the lion is your power, or was in that case, or is.
Yeah.
Your power animal.
The power animal.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
Right.
But yeah, that really taught me a lot. So I was constantly trying to accept. In this process, I was trying to accept my parents for what they are and not hating them. And it didn't really work. I went back to like the line, just what's it called? Like you, like a drip, like it's when you have like a stuffed nose.
Oh, he's like rubbing his nose on his arm?
On your arm, like, because like the line was a bit hurt by these parents that wouldn't let myself be myself, like strong stuff. Right. So I faced some things. I got over the dog fear, but I couldn't really forgive my parents.
Okay.
For what it was. So I go deeper, and at this point it's probably like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And then it's about death now. So then I started seeing myself die, and I started seeing the life of others after I died, like my girlfriend's life, how it would be. She found a new person, and my family. So I would see like this lonely death, where I died completely alone in this darkness, and I was constantly guided to just accept the fear. Just lie down and imagine just lying down in your own vomit and you're such pain because you had bee sticks, these plants that burned you, all bruises all over the place, and just lying, accepting the present moment after such intense process.
And this was after the Vipassana retreat also.
Yeah.
Because in the Vipassana you had these dreams, these awful dreams.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you saw people that your family or friends dying and just dying in different ways. Yeah. Death. So same thing. So same thing came up in the ayahuasca experiences.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. It did.
Yeah,
and
parallels.
It was very. It's the same experience I recognize from my realization of the ayahuasca trip and what it meant to me. That would, or doing yoga, doing meditation would have led me to the same conclusions.
Yeah.
You just bypass something so you get access very fast.
More quickly. Yeah. Right.
That's what it does.
Wow.
So I went through death and I somehow managed to survive to the morning. I go back, look myself in the mirror. Everybody was asleep. They stopped the process like 4 hours before me. And during the night, the shaman had been out finding me in the forest many times.
He was looking for you.
He was looking for me, and he said, "Are sure you don't want to come back in?" Or
he found you?
Yeah, because it was a complete animal. He found me in the forest.
And he left you there after you said?
Yeah, because I want to be with this tomorrow, and that was my process. So I came back at this time when everyone is asleep, and I look myself in the mirror and I look more like an animal than man. It's so evil. I hadn't gone through the process to end at a place of love that night. I was still in darkness, and it was grim to see yourself. Imagine yourself like an evil demon, seeing that in the mirror, seeing that very, very evil, nasty part of you. But it was it took a lot of courage, but it also made me realize, okay, I can be with this. This is a part of me. I can be with this.
So more accepting.
More accepting.
Yeah.
That there is this darkness within me. I've now explored my capacity for darkness. I really went deep. I used to drill, and I drilled like as far as I can go. Of course it was giving me a lot of confidence, I reckon, confidence that I'm courageous enough to drill as deep as it takes, to not be afraid of going into darkness. And that confidence led me, maybe it was a stupid confidence, because that led me to go into pain each ayahuasca session after that. Like for 4 times I did ayahuasca sessions where I would go into the same cycle of just evilness and pain.
Same cycle of evilness and pain.
Just darkness.
Okay.
Just
so that happened again and again and again.
Hate, anger.
Stuff.
So
stuff that had to come out. That you had to face and let it come out. Yeah,
exactly. But also, it was also a place of being a victim. I just let myself be guided completely by the process instead of taking any control. So as a complete victim, I would lie at different places and just lie in my own vomit and just accepting the situation. and I went to like very, very dark places. And if I hadn't like had meditative awareness, I would probably have gone crazy. Because none of the other people went into that much darkness. So my shaman, he said, like, you have, your process reminds me very much of my own. He also had to go through the warrior process, it's called. A warrior, he knows he has the potential to kill someone. Like, that's within him. And the warrior doesn't kill someone out of compassion. But you have to completely accept that part of you that can kill another person or being in order to love yourself. And so that was a huge process, going to accept like this really evil part of me that I didn't really consciously know existed.
Yeah, right.
So how do you accept that within you? That's what I need to deal with. And I went to another retreat the week after. That's why.
You did another one?
Yeah, the week after, because I wasn't resolved.
Okay, so what was that week like? That unresolved week in between?
It was it was like coming home.
You came back here?
I came back here to Denmark, and I was really like depressed. I was like I was very much internally processing something, so I wouldn't really like think about what was going on around me. I just had to be myself all the time. I couldn't really be with people, and I knew I hadn't resolved everything. So I booked like flights instantly, get back.
Just for you?
Just for me.
Okay.
So I would leave my girlfriend back home and go back to do what I need to do. And this time I went to Cologne in Germany also.
Same shaman?
Same shaman, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And different crowd of people, but very nice people in general. But I go through the process again with going through hell, the first and the second night. And then I realized, like, you have a choice. You have a choice in this life to choose love, or you can stay in your misery. And the evil, nasty part of me that wanted to keep myself in just suffering all the time, because I was also probably gaining something from that. You know, I can take all the suffering, I can go through hell, and like the part of me that wanted me to stay there probably kept me throughout those sessions. And if I didn't have like a clear intention of getting out of that, probably would just have stayed in that. I wouldn't have learned from it. Ayahuasca takes you to those places for you to accept that that's a part of you. Once you learn and accept that, there's no reason to stay there because you're not afraid of it. You can be there and completely accept the present moment, then you can go back to love. So that's what I chose on the last night in Cologne. I chose to get back to love.
Okay, so you chose the love. Go back to love.
Chose love.
But you had to clear all that stuff out, though.
I had, yeah.
So so it all happened perfectly.
It all happened perfectly.
Okay.
But also, yeah, it taught me that you really need to remember in everyday life. I think like Jesus was Jesus because he had took like a billion good choices all day long. Not that I'm religious or anything, but it's an example of a story with a person that chose love constantly. And each moment you're faced with a decision, then you can choose love, you choose misery, or whatever comes. And
wow, that's a great story.
That's what's an important lesson, yeah.
Yeah. And so, how has your life been since then?
Completely changed, because I was very clear afterwards that what I've been seeking my whole life and all the external things was only superficial things. After I knew the capacity for love, I felt like this is it. This is what I'm gonna seek. I'm gonna spend most of my awakening hours on that. So I knew from being guided through yoga or deep breathing in the ayahuasca sessions that I wanted to seek those paths. So I started meditating when I got back home, and I started signing up for all kinds of different yoga classes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And
so all around town?
All around town, different places, different teachers. A lot of it was very superficial. I reckon there's so much like fitness yoga.
Sure.
Where people want to be more flexible and slim.
Yeah. You get a tight butt.
Yeah, get a tight butt, yeah. I was not in the market for that. So I explored more, and then I found Tikui, the Danish spiritual fitness center. And
how did you find Tinkui?
I was Googling, for
you Googled it?
Kundalini yoga classes, and then that popped up somehow. Yeah.
Wow.
So I found it from the internet, and that was just this beautiful collection of people that was authentic, and it's a very peaceful place.
Yeah.
And then I started getting to different yoga classes and contact improvisation, all these things, and I started to realize you can actually do all the things you do in ayahuasca with
naturally. Yeah, without drugs. Yeah.
So that was also an important insight. Anyway, after some time, I had a friend calling me, and he said, I'm having this rural castle in Portugal, and we're doing this 10 friends where we can do another ayahuasca session. So I of course, I'm in it for the experience. Like, ayahuasca is a beautiful thing, and it's always great because you get to be so authentic with many people, and I love the experience of that, the relations that it creates. So I go to Portugal, and this time was with a different calmness and awareness, because I've been meditating a lot, I've been doing yoga a lot, and I felt like I had a deeper experience of what was like the core of the teachings.
Was it the same shaman?
The same shaman again.
Okay.
Always him. He's a beautiful human being, and his girlfriend. They always do the things together, they do the ceremonies together, but that's like the only couple I've met that really shares complete independent free love. They're such amazing people, and sometimes at the retreats, she will sing a song. She has like this beautiful innocent voice. She's an intelligent girl, and it's amazing with those people. I really think it's very important that you have great people guiding you through the things.
Yeah, it sounds essential.
It's essential. So this time I come in with a bit of a different awareness, because after meditating a lot at home, I started seeing, okay, we have all these things we consider problems. We have all these objects of our problems. That's a constant theme. But in reality, you can never solve that problem. There will always be a new person hitting that button which gives you this feeling. And so the core of it is go to the emotion. Go to the emotion constantly. Accept the emotion. That's what it is. If you don't try to solve a problem in your mind. You can't solve it that way. The only way to solve things is complete acceptance.
So not avoidance.
No avoidance.
And not a fake way of solving a problem.
No, exactly.
Yeah. So facing it.
Facing it, being with it, loving.
And then processing it. Yeah.
Loving fear for what it is. Fear is also intelligence. It keeps you alive. Loving hatred for what, anger or whatever you have for what it is. And accepting that part, letting it run free. There's this old Buddhist trick where you internally say, or you repeat the emotion you're experiencing 3 times inside. So you say, fear, fear, fear. And by that, first of all, you take focus away from solving the problem and the object. Take it to the emotion and sensations in your body. And just slowly saying that internally will just like let it run free. And that's a great practice. So this constant meditation practice is a beautiful thing. To me it was like the key thing maybe like just be really happy. I can be alone, bake bread, just go for a walk in the park, and I don't have to see people anymore. I was always completely addicted to seeing people. Now I just love my own presence.
Great.
And so that was a really big change to me. Anyway, so this ayahuasca session was a bit different because it came in with that mindset. So this time there would be no objects. There would be only intensity of emotion. So the first night, go and dance with fear. The fear of death. That's to me the most fundamental fear. And how do you in ayahuasca sessions you can reach places of fear that you can normally not access. Like it's really, really intense. And but I dance with it, you know. I hug the fear. I make friends with it. And that was the first night. The next night I go through anger, and instead of like trying to solve it with objects like I did the previous ayahuasca sessions, I would just be again with anger, and I would try to love that energy of anger. And the anger part is always like the grim part, is the part in you that can kill. Like that's a demon, really, really hard demon to love. So I just go and love, and try to send that energy of love to this place in me, which I can't accept. And I would like cringe down physically because this energy of anger would hold me back and not let me open my heart to this. And I would continue, and at some point I have 4 people dancing around me because they see I'm going through such a hard process with this, and they're all trying to send me love energy. And
they showed up like fairies.
They showed up like fairies.
Yeah, forest fairies, yeah.
Forest fairies dancing around me. And I was so deep in this trip. I could feel there was something dancing around me, but I was like so much in the intensity of their emotion. Anyway, at some point I just blast out, open my heart, and I just purged, the biggest purge, and there would literally be chunks. I don't know what was in. There would be chunks of darkness that came out through the vomit.
Wow.
And I've never felt such relief. That was so much. That was so big of a release, and I felt the deepest love for myself. And then I was guided through yoga again. So I went through all these beautiful yoga movements and did the lotus position, did the feet behind the head. Like I could do everything. I never knew I was able to do that physically, but somehow
fascinating.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Your own intelligence knows.
Did you think it was like a past life thing? You were a yogi in a past life?
I don't know. It felt like Buddha experience.
Okay.
Because at the end I would just sit in the lotus position. And I would just send love out to the room, to the people around me, and to the universe. And it was like tears went from my eyes while I was sitting in lotus position. And it was just the experience of being part of everything. And also that you don't die, that we're just awareness. Like the lies, the death is the biggest lie we've been told. It's probably the most amazing experience of my life.
Yeah, sounds like it. The whole package.
The whole package, yeah.
Yeah, the whole last 10 months.
The whole last 10 months, so intense. Like when I look at my past and I even look at like old clothes, I can't relate to them. Like that was another person.
Another life.
Another life, yeah.
Wow. I remember I said to you, it was like a gift in disguise. You know, the depression that you went through and that difficult time was a gift in disguise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely I feel that's what's the case, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a huge gift in disguise. And to me, it was the most beautiful person that I could have ever gotten, because it was only that much pain that would lead me on this journey.
Yeah.
You need a lot of pain in order to have the courage to really go deep inside of yourself and like going through all this pain in order to also see the light.
To want to wake up from the nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would want to wake up from a nice dream?
Who would?
Yeah. Right. God, that's a great. Thanks for sharing that, Mats. It's a fantastic hero's journey.
I'm really happy to share it because I think it can be so. Like I want everyone to experience that, because I had so many years with depression. I had so many years with suffering. I know so many people that has that.
Yeah,
and I walk around the street now, I see all these sad faces.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what's to be sad about.
Well, it's a mind.
It's a mind
prison. Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
If we're the problem with us is that we neglect a lot of emotions. But as soon as we just accept everything for what it is, fear is here, it's fine. Instead of being afraid of fearing, that's what we do. It's
or reactive towards fear. Yeah.
Reactive towards it.
Yeah.
Seeing it for what it is, and it also have like everything has a positive side to it.
And everything is temporary as well.
Everything, yeah, that's
a key thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when you do a meditation retreat. That's where you learn
the law of impermanence. Yeah.
The law of impermanence, as the Buddha was saying, Nietzsche.
Yeah.
Change.
That's a key thing. Once you have to really have the awareness that everything, you feel pain now, but it's gonna move in another direction soon.
Eventually.
Yeah, and if you observe yourself 10 hours a day, you really know that.
Yeah.
You know that you're angry this hour, and then you're happy this hour, and when you're angry, you think these things about these persons, but when you're happy, you think complete opposite. So the whole idea of having a persona, what your persona is, or you can see that, realize that it's a silly concept because it constantly changes.
Yeah.
So when you're angry, you are anger, and you will have a completely different idea about the world than you will when you're happy. It's just all,
Yeah. God, well, Mads, thank you so much for sharing that story. That's a beautiful story, and I'm sure it's, like I said to you, it's an important story for it to come out and for others to hear it, as you know, and for others to be inspired by it. So thank you very much for speaking openly and honestly about all this.
I'm so happy to share, and I hope like anyone that wants any guidance regards to going this path or ayahuasca or whatever, just
to have courage.
To
be open to it.
Definitely be open.
And everyone's on their own journey as well. So for some it might be ayahuasca, for others it might be
very true.
Something else, like going to India and
going to India, meditate,
whatever. Yeah.
Whatever it is.
It's quite remarkable how it happens perfectly for each person.
That's very true. There's many different times.
Yeah. When they're hungry for it and pushed with the nightmares in the life, and wanting to wake up from a nightmare.
Yeah, you have to be very hungry.
Yeah, you have to be hungry.
Because you have to be able to let go of everything that you thought was important.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a big
it's
courageous
rare.
step.
Yeah, it's a death.
It's a death.
Yeah.
That's why it's so peculiar now if you look back at the old life. It's just a different persona. But so deep realization, and I hope everyone who listens to this will go on that journey, because it's the most profound journey I think you can ever.
That's exactly. My wife, she said, there is no growth in the comfort zone.
Yeah, very true.
That's it.
Fear is a hint. Yeah, that's the way you should go.
Yeah, that's right. Don't move. Don't back off from things. Face the fears.
Very true. And you will get all these gems from just taking the hint of fear and just going for that.
Yeah.
If you're afraid of speaking in front of crowds, whatever you're afraid of, just go into that fear. And maybe do the Buddhist trick, like recognize now there's fear in my body 3 times and be with that and proceed.
Yeah.
So many gems. It's just...
Well, great. I think that's an hour, I think so. Thanks a lot, Mats. That was a wonderful story. I loved hearing, I was on the journey with you. So thank you very much, Mats. And that was podcast number 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.